MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Days after voting ended, there's finally a Republican candidate for Montana's new Western Congressional District. Up next, learn why it took so long for Ryan Zinke to be named the winner.
I'm John Riley. 6 Montanans and a prominent former Montana lawyer have been charged for alleged actions connected to the January 6 riot and sedition plot at the U.S. Capitol.
The systems in today's new cars can help prevent a crash. I'm Elise Preston with new research showing how the technology cannot stop every accident.
Well, good morning, Southwest Montana, 6:30. Chet Lehman, Matt Elwell with you here, wrapping up a rather nice week of weather. Rain headed our direction, you see, potentially. Some wind today.
Luckily, Senator Tester asked for rain out for his
personal,
ranch.
A personal request from him right here in the studio. We'll chat with him in a few minutes as well.
I told him 6 to 8 weeks delivery on that weather, but
there you
we'll
go.
see.
That's
He'll take it anyway. Temperatures this morning, not bad. We're right around the 50-degree mark for most of the areas we're starting the morning. This is a snow killer type of morning, unfortunately. We're seeing a lot of snow melt. I think our rivers and streams will be coming to full banks here over the course of the next 5 to 7 days. It is a good chance that we'll add some rain to that. Today, just spotty chance. You can see the showers trying to pick up out toward Lincoln, Missoula, back toward Kalispell. Those areas are probably going to see the heaviest rain over the course of the next couple of days. Today, just spotty rain chances. Temperatures into the 70s. Unfortunately, we'll be dealing with a little bit of wind. So we'll talk more about that, look at your weekend ahead, and a cool down for the early part of next week in just a few minutes.
And just so you know, Senator, Matt does his own delivery. He's not like Amazon. He doesn't hire people. He does his own. So he'll be hand delivering that to you in 6 to 8 weeks. Meantime, 6:31, our top story this half hour. Long after polls closed for the primary election, now a winner in the Republican race for the state's newly drawn Western Congressional District. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian explains what caused the delay.
After a tight race and a nearly 48-hour wait for the final results, it appears that former U.S. Representative and Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke has secured the Republican nomination for U.S. House in Montana's new Western Congressional District. The last large pool of uncounted votes from Lincoln County were released Thursday afternoon. Zinke won the county, extending his lead over orthopedic surgeon and former state senator Al Olszewski to about 1,600 votes across the district. Lincoln County had to count all of its ballots by hand because some absentee ballots were cut too short by 1/4 of an inch, so they wouldn't run through the automatic ballot counting machines. As the county's results began to come in, Zinke's campaign released a statement claiming victory, saying, "Thank you, Western Montana, for your confidence that America can be fixed, and for ignoring the political BS." Olszewski conceded the race to Zinke Thursday evening. Zinke was generally considered the frontrunner in the 1st Congressional District Republican primary. He had previously represented Montana in the House, had raised by far the most money, and boasted the endorsement of former President Donald Trump. However, Olszewski had portrayed himself as the best choice for conservatives. Zinke's campaign called the result a victory over negative campaigning from both Republicans and Democrats. Now, going into the general election, Zinke will face Democrat Monica Tranel, an attorney from Missoula, and Libertarian John Lamb of Bozeman. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
6:33 in other news this morning. After nearly a year of investigating the Capitol insurrection, which has led to hundreds of defendants charged, dozens of guilty pleas, the January 6th committee held its first public primetime hearing last night, featured testimony from people close to former President Trump and footage revealing the role of the far-right group, the Proud Boys. Now, MTN's John Riley provides an update on Montanans facing charges related to that day.
6 Montanans and 1 prominent former Montana lawyer have been charged for alleged actions connected to the January 6, 2020 riot and sedition plot at the U.S. Capitol. Former Montana lawyer and leader of the Oath Keepers, Elmert Stewart Rhodes, faces some of the most serious charges for those arrested. Although he did not enter the Capitol, the Department of Justice has charged him with seditious conspiracy and alleged that Rhodes and the Oath Keepers used paramilitary combat tactics to breach and attempt to take control of the Capitol grounds. He has pled not guilty and been denied release until trial. Joshua and Jared Hughes are accused of being some of the first to enter the U.S. Capitol through a window that had been broken by another rioter. The Stolen brothers face 9 charges, including obstruction of an official proceeding and violent entry, and have entered not guilty pleas. Their next status conference has been set for August 4th. Isaac Sturgeon of Dillon has been indicted on more than a half dozen charges, including obstruction of justice, assaulting, resisting, or impeding officers, engaging in physical violence in a restrained building, and an act of physical violence in the Capitol grounds. He has pled not guilty. No trial date has been set. Dillon business owner Hank Munzer is slated to go to trial on August 30th. The 5 charges against Munzer include obstruction of an official proceeding and entering and remaining in a restricted building. Munzer has said he believes videos he recorded that day will show he did nothing wrong. Former Missoula area real estate agent was the first Montanan to plead guilty. He has been sentenced to 60 days in prison for admitting to parading, demonstrating, or picketing in the Capitol grounds. Belgrade business owner Andrew Kavanaugh has also pled guilty to the misdemeanor of parading, demonstrating, or picketing in the Capitol building. That sentencing was scheduled to take place Friday, but has been moved to July 14th. Reporting in Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
All right, 6:35 and other national news this morning. Many new cars are equipped with some self-driving technology, and while we may someday have fully autonomous vehicles, safety experts are quick to point out that we're not there yet. CBS's Elise Preston explains.
First few minutes of my drive.
Andy Sly owns a Tesla and highlights the vehicle's technology on his YouTube channel.
Tap down twice to enable autopilot.
One of his favorite features is autopilot, which allows the car to accelerate, brake, and steer on its own.
It gives you extra set of eyes and more peace of mind. And from the 4 years I've been using it, I mean, it has completely changed the way I drive.
The car's technology even helped him avoid an accident with a tractor trailer.
Autopilot actually hit the brakes, so could have been bad. And luckily I had autopilot enabled at that time.
Autopilot requires drivers to keep a hand on the wheel, and Sly's vehicle has a camera to make sure his eyes are on the road. But AAA wanted to see what happens when the driver doesn't take control. Researchers tested 3 models with semi-autonomous features. In 15 test runs when the vehicle followed a dummy bike rider, no accidents occurred. But when the bike crossed traffic, the cars hit the bike in 1/3 of tests. The vehicles also performed poorly when faced with a head-on collision every time there was an accident. Only 1 model slowed down before making impact.
We are not at fully autonomous yet, and I think a lot of consumers are confused and think that when they have these systems that the vehicle can drive itself, and that's just not the case.
Megan McKernan with AAA says the technology continues to improve and can save lives, but is not foolproof.
Never rely on these systems. They are meant to help assist, but they are never meant to replace an attentive driver.
That's why most new semi-autonomous vehicles have sensors forcing drivers to keep a hand on the wheel, or a camera to make sure eyes are on the road and paying attention. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.